Okay, back to where we left off a week ago about tefillin. So there's an interesting question in halacha. The first time a kid puts on tefillin, does he say shechianu at the time he puts on tefillin? So there's a big discussion in halacha. Some people say you do, some people say you don't. Chabad, the custom is that every right we don't say shechianu the first time we put on the tefillin for a lot of reasons. Number one, the kid puts it on before bar mitzvah, then he's not obligated to say it. So then you don't make a shechianu. Once he becomes bar mitzvah, so he's already done already. So then you don't make a shechianu. And there's also a lot of different customs with the tefillin. For instance, the kesher of tefillin, the knot of the tefillin, because the Torah speaks about ukshartam la'is al yadecha, you should tie them for a sign. So that kesher is halacha Moshe Messinai. The problem is there's a lot of different opinions what the halacha Moshe Messinai was in the shape of the tefillin. For instance, you have the knot on the hand, then you have the knot on the shorosh in the back. So some people make the back of the shorosh with a dalit. Some people make it this shape. Some people make it a square. There's a lot of different customs about having this knot, what type it is. But it's definitely halacha Moshe Sinai, and the shoyad has to be a yud, and the head tefillin should be a dalid. So a lot of different customs and discussions, exactly which way you do it. Whichever way you do it is fine, as long as it's the right way. Now, it's very important that the tefillin should be square. Another interesting thing about tefillin, by the way, you have the boxes of the tefillin, and then you have the straps of the tefillin. The straps of the tefillin to be black is halacha Moshe Messinai. That means halacha says tefillin straps must be black. If they turn, sometimes they discolor and they turn whitish, you have to paint them. If not, it could be a question actually. Huh? Okay. But no advertisements here. It has to be black. The blackness of the bias, the box of the tefillin, is said hidden mitzvah, just looks nicer. It's more important that the straps are black than the bias is black. So it's a much bigger issue that it should be that what?
Does it matter one side or both sides of the strap?
Some people like to have both sides black. Some people don't want both sides black. But it has to make sure that at least on the hand and on this part of the head, that the straps don't turn over. The Gemara tells us, Rebbe brings down and gets a tshuva, that Rav Huna, one time the strap of his tefillin turned over and he fasted 40 fasts to rectify what he did. This that hangs down, the tefillin straps that hang down from the shorosh, that doesn't matter if it's turned, not turned, but this strap around the head, the straps on the hand, those have to be not turned around. If not, you're not yet to the tefillin. Another thing with the tefillin, I just wanted to say it. Okay, anyway, so the straps of the tefillin, that's halacha Moshe Messinai. Now, when you put on tefillin, we learned already that you have to put the shalyad before the shorosh. Why? Because it's ukshartam la'is al yadecha v'hoyu l'teitofes beinenecha. The pasuk says clearly, whenever it speaks about tefillin, the Torah first says ukshartam la'is al yadecha, or when it speaks about in Kaddish Tiko B'chor, anytime it speaks about the tefillin, it says the hand first and then the head first, which is a very interesting reason why it's relevant in halacha. There's a rule, ein mavirin ala mitzvahs. You're not allowed to pass over a mitzvah. If you have a mitzvah, let's say by mistake, somebody took out the shorosh before the shalyad. By mistake, they took it out first. So, in technical halacha, they would have to put on the shorosh first. Why? By the way, another thing. The hand tefillin and the head tefillin are two separate mitzvahs. It's not like lulav and esrig, where all four things are one mitzvah. If you have 3/4, you didn't do the mitzvah, you can't make a bracha. But hand tefillin and head tefillin are two separate, distinct mitzvahs. Therefore, you could do one without the next. What happens if somebody cannot put on a hand tefillin, bandage all or whatever? So they put on the head tefillin. What happens if they can't put on the head tefillin? At least they put on the hand tefillin. Because, one thing, there's two separate mitzvahs. So technically, if somebody would take out the shorosh first, according to technical halacha, he really should have to put on the shorosh first. Because if you put it down, that means you're passing over a mitzvah that's in your hand. Nevertheless, over there the din is, even if you did that, you still have to put on the hand first. Why? Because the Torah is emphatic. First has to be the hand and then the head. And therefore, the Gemara learns out another interesting thing. If you notice, when you take off the tefillin, you take off the head tefillin before the hand tefillin. It says because really, ideally, not mandatory, but ideally, teitofis is plural. So therefore, beside it means the 4 boxes. So technically, when a person is wearing the head tefillin, they should be wearing the shalyat also. So we take off the shalyat first, because if you take shorosh first, if you take off the shalyat first, then you're wearing the tefillin of the head without the shalyat. So it's two different mitzvahs. Another interest, but so therefore, coming back to this thing. So if somebody by mistake took out the shorosh, you still put it down. You have to be maver ala mitzvahs, and then you have to put on the shalyat anyway. Therefore, it says in halacha, you should make sure that when you have the tefillin, you make sure you know exactly where the shalyat is, and then you take that out first. There's another interesting problem. Sometimes they have these tefillin sacks, these containers for tefillin. So you put the one tefillin in, and on top of it you put another tefillin. So which one do you put first? The shorosh is holier than the shalyat, we learned before. So you're not allowed to put a shalyat on top of the shorosh. So if you're stacking it vertically, so then you can't have this shorosh at the bottom and the shalyat on top, because then the shalyat is on top of the shorosh. You can't have something less holy being on top of something more holy. The problem is, if you put the shorosh on top, that means you're taking out the shorosh first. But really you have to do the shalyat first. So I don't understand those containers. I don't know the...
Start making them with two opening in both sides.
Two opening on both sides, and then it would work.
So which way am I supposed to do it?
Change it. Get a different bag. No, because just think about it. You can't put the shalyat on top of the shorosh. You can't put the and yet you have to take out the shalyat first. If not, you're actually what's called mavidin ala mitzvahs. The same thing you have with talis and tefillin. Now we learned that talis and tefillin, first you put on the talis, and then you put on the tefillin. Okay, why? So simply, halachically, beside the Kabbalistic reason. Halachically, why do you put on the talis first and then the tefillin? Because there's a rule in halacha, tadir v'she'ena tadir kodem. When you have two things, more common, less common, you do the more common thing first. You're doing both things, but you don't know the order of doing them. So the more common and the less common, you do the more common first. Because it's more important, the fact that you're always doing it. Now, tzitzis, talis, we wear 7 days a week. Tefillin, we wear 6 days a week. So talis is worn more often than tefillin. So therefore, the halachic reason, not the Kabbalistic reason. Halachic reason is because, so therefore, you have to put on talis first and then tefillin. But in Shulchan Aruch it says, what happens by mistake if somebody took out the tefillin first? Then they would halachically have to put on the tefillin and then the talis. Kabbalistically not, but halachically that's what they would have to do. Now, that's only though, not if you took out the bag of the tefillin. If you took out the tefillin themselves without even the covers on them. If you took out the tefillin with the covers, without the covers, so now you have the actual mitzvah, so then you would have to put on tefillin before talis. Kabbalistically, the reason why you put on talis first and then tefillin is talis is the encompassing level, the makif, it surrounds you, the infinite encompassing level. It's called Sevav Kol Almin. And then the tefillin are internalized, the mind and the heart. So first you put on the makif level, then you put on the primi level. What?
If you're saying though that it doesn't count if they're still in the box.
Right.
And going back to my problem with my tefillin, if I take the rush out first in the box.
Yeah, but it's still not it's better to do it the other way.
Why in Tanya, chapter 41, does it say to fill in first and then assistance?
Over there, he's not talking about the order of putting them on.
Why didn't it's a Hasidic question, it's not a halachic question. Why would he do that?
Why? There's reasons for that. I don't know offhand. But there are reasons why the Alter Rebbe says over there, Levishas, Talis, Tefillin and Talis, whatever. But again, halachically, so it would be a problem to take out, to put on the Tefillin Shel Yad before being the Shorosh. Taking it out would be a problem. But nevertheless, over there you have no choice. You have to do it. Okay, now, many people, by the Chassidish world, we don't do that, but by the Chassidish world, the first time a kid puts on tefillin, in the Chassidic world, they would go to their Rebbe, and the Rebbe would put the tefillin on the kid. But we put it on 2 months before anyway. They would start the day of the bar mitzvah. So, but we don't do that. Father shows the kid how he's supposed to be putting on tefillin. Okay, another interesting thing about the tefillin, if you notice that in the actual tefillin, coming back to that, the actual tefillin is on the shorosh. There's two sides of the shorosh. Okay, now one side, both sides have a shin. There's a shin on both sides of the shorosh. But there's a difference between one side and the next. One side is a shin with 3 things, and the other side has the shin with 4 things. Now, why does one have 3 and one has 4? Because if you look, there's 2 ways. If you have 4 lines, so then the inside is a shin. If you have 3 lines, then the outside is a shin, and the inside is only 2 empty spaces. Right? If you look at a shin, so if you have a shin written out, so there's 3 lines, but the middle one, then you have only 2 things. So there's 2 types of shin, the inside shin and the outside shin. So one side has the 3 things of the shin, the other side has 4 things of the shin. That all again is halacha Moshe Sinai and how it should be. Another interesting thing, when you have the tefillin, the straps hanging down, I don't know if you ever noticed it, but the right side is longer than the left side. And it's supposed to be that way. It's not because the guy didn't make it even. He didn't know how to do it. The right side is supposed to be longer than the left side. In fact, there's even a machlekes argument in Kabbalah and halacha, how far should these straps go down? Some opinions say to the belly, some people say to the feet. How far the straps. But whichever way it is, the right side, the right strap coming down is longer than the left strap. That's all, again, Kabbalistically, a lot of it has to do with halacha Moshe Sinai. The right, the longer than the left, that's Kabbalah already. What? Maybe. Maybe. By the Rebbe Rashab, it says the right side of his beard was longer than the left side. And they write Kabbalistic reasons why that was. I mean, why it was. They wish to made it like that, but why it happened to be like that. Okay.